So now more than ever, being a Nintendo Switch console owner is a great thing because we see a rotating door of eShop sales hit throughout the year, and we have yet another one we have to go over today following the most recent Indie World event presentation from Nintendo. And while a lot of these games were not at the event, there's actually some notable ones that I definitely think are worth slowing down and considering adding into your Switch library if you don't own them already. And we have to go over all of the notable sales and deals over on Nintendo's Direct website right now. What's up, nation? If it's your first time on the channel, make sure you join Sunbro Nation by subscribing below, hit the like button on this video if you enjoy it today, and make sure you turn on your bell notification icon so you're kept up to date with all the newest gaming news. And as I mentioned, guys, today we are taking a look at the newest Nintendo Switch eShop sale, and there's a couple different sections we will go through over on the Nintendo sales and deals page. Here in the North American region, I would like to point out that the Mario Day deals are done, the multiple waves of them, but over in the UK, you guys just recently had Mario Day Wave 2 go live. So if you do live in the UK, make sure you check out your specific sales and deals websites because it will actually have different promotions than what we're talking about in this particular video. Now, right at the top of the list, we do have a new Splatoon 3 plus Nintendo Switch online membership option where you can pick up Splatoon 3, I believe at just the standard $60 price, but the benefit is that you get a 3-month membership that comes along with that. You will want to be a Nintendo Switch online subscriber if you're playing Splatoon because a lot of that game is based around online play, and of course you have to have an NSO membership to actually be able to play with your friends online. So definitely pick that up if you don't own it. It's a good bonus of just 3 months of Nintendo's base tier service for NSO. I would like to point out this is not the expansion pack because they don't even have anything less than a 12-month option for the expansion pack. But if you're in the market for Splatoon 3, now may be a good time to do it and pick up that 3-month membership while you're there. Now, April indie sales is the big one and the big section of the game discounts that we'll be going through today, but I wouldn't write this off just because they're indie titles because some of them are really fan classics, great games that you could pick up and add to your collection. It is running from April 19th, 9 a.m. Pacific time to April 26th at 11:59 Pacific time. Now, right at the start of the list, you have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. This is a fantastic game through and through, a modern day reimagining of a classic Turtles games, but with all of the modern visuals you want to see, the bells and whistles. I wish it was a little bit of a steeper discount than it is, but I still would heavily recommend anybody who enjoys a turtle style game to pick this one up at its $19.99 price point right now on the eShop, especially if you have some friends that enjoy this style of game. Also, the co-op play throughout is flawless and it is a ton of fun. I cannot recommend it to any Switch owner enough. Next up, we have Dead Cells Medley of Pain bundle, which essentially comes with the DLC for Dead Cells, which is a big deal because recently they announced that Castlevania would be an integration into this game. I am pumped to check that out myself. It's a roguelike Metroidvania game at its finest, and I definitely think that there could not have been a better collaboration than to work with a franchise like Castlevania to have a DLC expansion. So that's an exciting one. Also just a 20% discount, $31.99 right now, as opposed to the $40 regular retail that you can pick that up at. A little to the left, next up on our list at 20% off or $11.99 right now, Signalis is one that has a good fan following online. I believe it's like survival horror or something like that. Only 10% off, $17.99, but it is a discount that you can pick up on the eShop. Cuphead, this is one that I will definitely recommend to fans of side-scrolling action adventure platforming games, especially if you can go through it with co-op with a friend. It's incredible. I had so much fun playing through this. I haven't completed the DLC on it yet, but this bundle does come with both, and you do have to get comfortable with dying over and over again, failing, and just trying to get good enough to progress. It is definitely an extremely hard game and does not try to hide that. So it is a lot of remember the patterns, overcome the bosses, don't mess up, have the perfect run just to be able to survive and pass through to the next level. And right now you can do both the base game and the delicious Last Course, which is the DLC expansion for it, at $19.70 on the Switch eShop. Next up, we have Citizen Sleeper, a game I don't know anything about, $13.99 or 30% off its regular retail price right now. Hades is next up on the list, and any Nintendo Switch owner, especially if you are a fan of roguelike games, needs to pick up this one. This is a roguelike done at its finest. It's not so punishing in the sense that you totally lose everything upon death, but it does have that constant sense of progression, building out your character, leveling up, getting good enough to overcome all of the different waves of enemies. We are in the countdown to Hades 2 still, so this is a great option to pick this up while you're waiting for that, and it is 50% off, so one of the better discounts on today's list. Currently $12.49 on the eShop as opposed to its $25 regular retail. From there you have Rogue Legacy 2, 15% off, $21.24. You have Melatonin, I'm assuming a game to help you fall asleep maybe. That's only 10% off, $13.49. Slay the Spire at $9.99, 60% off its regular $25 retail. That may be worth checking out at that price point. One Shot World Machine Edition is $11.99 or 20% off its regular $15 price point. Spelunky 2 is $9.99. This is one that fans love. I haven't given it a chance yet myself, but I've seen a ton of talk around it online. You can play this game with up to 4 players locally, which is a really nice bonus, but it's a classic 2D platformer from what I understand, and it definitely looks good. If you look at the gameplay trailer from it, there's a reason that it's a cult classic and has a big following online. So $9.99 for Spelunky 2 I don't think is a bad price point. It's half price its regular retail of $20, so look into that if you haven't already. Spiritfarer is the next one at 75% off. Not familiar with that game, but that is one of the highest discounts on this list. And we have Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon, which I never picked up myself. Huge Shovel Knight fan, but not this particular one. If I'm not mistaken, it's more of a puzzle-based game. 50% off, $9.99 on the eShop right now. Ooblets is next up at 33% off, $19.99. Hollow Knight is one that, of course, while we wait on Silksong, you have to play through the original. It's arguably one of the best Metroidvania style games ever made, and there's a reason why every indie world or any kind of presentation you see from Nintendo or Microsoft at this point, you have the internet going wild saying, is this finally the event that we will get Hollow Knight Silksong with an official release date? That game, according to Microsoft, should be out by June of this year because all of the games at their previous presentation were supposed to be out before then. So whether or not we see that happen, I don't know, but 50% off or $7.50 for Hollow Knight right now in the eShop is absolutely a steal, and one that I think you guys should heavily consider adding into your library if you haven't, especially for that price point. You can't beat it. Unsighted next up at $11.99, 40% off its regular retail. Celeste is one of those other games that I haven't given a chance to yet, but I absolutely need to. It's only $5 right now, 75% off. So at the very least, I'll be adding this into my library at this price point so I can play through it with the rest of the backlog that I still need to get through as soon as I can make time for it. But the gameplay looks incredible. It's a lot of fun. If you were a fan of those SNES Genesis era games and you want to play more of those in the modern day, this definitely seems like a great one to have in your collection. 75% off, $5 for Celeste. Don't sleep on that one. Untitled Goose Game is the next one on our list at 50% off. Not one I've looked into, but I've seen some funny clips online. I know there's a big fan community around it. Cozy Grove plus New Neighbors bundle is $16.70 or 20% off right now. Windjammers 2 is $12.99. And then we have a few different games from here that I'm not really familiar with at all. I will let you guys kind of see what is on screen. A couple last shout outs. You do have Neon White on this list. That's one of the better looking indie games as far as its visual style. It definitely has a cool aesthetic to it, and it's kind of a first person shooter slash card strategy level up game, if I'm not mistaken. So it has some kind of card mechanic, but the actual gameplay is more first person shooter style. Anyway, that's 20% off or $19.99 on the eShop right now. And that will kind of take us through this biggest portion of the sale on the eShop, which is the indie sale right now. From there, you do have an ongoing game trial for anybody who maybe didn't see it in our previous news video. You can download Star Wars Republic Commando which just started as of yesterday when you're seeing this video, all the way to April 26th. And from everything I've seen online, not only is this a fan classic, it kind of reminded me just a little bit of Metroid Prime when it comes to that space shooter first person experience and the different enemies, but it is also a game that you could theoretically beat while it is free, because Nintendo does allow you to download the entire game. And so it's not a demo where you're going to get cut off. If you get this in a reasonable amount of time, you may be able to complete the entire thing. But if you can't and you do want to pick it up for part of your library, it is 50% off during these dates as the game trial sale is promoting it. From there, you have a new Warner Brothers sale, but it is a lot of repeat offenders from what we've seen last time. I mean, these games at this point from the Warner Brothers section rather are pretty much always on sale, so you don't really have to worry about missing out on these ones too much, in my personal opinion. You then have Jupiter Picross sale, which from what I can tell is just kind of one of those really simple game developers that they all kind of have the same Picross games one after the other. It's apparently they made a bunch of different ones of these, because you can go all the way up to like Picross 8, but it looks to be just a classical puzzle style game, so not anything that particularly interests me, but maybe for you guys out there it might, so worth noting. And then Handyman Games anniversary sale. This looks like a lot of those, you know, mainstream kind of like Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader type of games that you might want to play with a family or friend and maybe answer some questions. They have some different ones on here, but ones that I've never really seen myself or know very much about, and that takes us through the latest rounds of eShop discounts that are out there right now. I will have this exact website linked in the description down below, so you guys can go check out and see if you want to add any of these games to your library, and definitely share with me whether or not you will be adding in or picking up any additional games as part of this latest eShop sales and deals. So regardless of your thoughts and feelings on everything we talked about today, I do look forward to hearing from you all in the comments down below before you leave the video, as I do look forward to getting a back and forth conversation started with you all around these topics. Go watch yesterday's video next if you haven't already, which is on screen right now. Also, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.